But back to the story we covered last night, the extraordinary FBI raid on Donald Trump's home in Florida. Unprecedented. Now, the FBI was apparently, according to the media, just looking for documents that should have been filed in the National Archives. Well, send in the FBI. Now, as Trump and even all his main rivals in the Republican Party have said, this raid looks like another abuse of state power by the Democrats to punish an enemy of the left. And you know the crazy thing? President Joe Biden's spokesman didn't even deny it when she was asked just that by Fox News reporter Peter Doocy.
Is this White House weaponizing the Justice Department and the FBI against political opponents?
The president has been very clear from before he was elected, very clear on this. Hold on. Throughout his time in office.
I heard the quote. We will be playing the quote tonight at 6 o'clock. Is this administration weaponizing the Justice Department and the FBI against political opponents?
Peter, the president believes in the rule of law.
The answer, I thought, would have been pretty simple if you've got clean hands. Just say no, we're not. Anyway, I want to show you something before I bring in someone who worked at the White House and for the Democrats. Donald Trump must think after this raid, wow, the Democrats have really now overplayed their hand, turned him into a hero even, because he's immediately released one of the most powerful election ads that I have seen. Now, I know Trump hasn't actually confirmed he's running for president again, but watch this and you're in no doubt at all. I won't play the whole ad because it goes for nearly 4 minutes. I'll play the best half of it. But you will already get a very good idea of the power of this thing and why the Democrats would be panicking about Trump's challenge and why they might actually stop at nothing to knock him out.
We are a nation that has the highest inflation in over 40 years, where the stock market just finished the worst first half of a year in more than 5 decades. We are a nation that has the highest energy cost in its history, and we are no longer energy independent or energy dominant, which we were just 2 short years ago. We are a nation that is begging Venezuela and Saudi Arabia for oil. We are a nation that surrendered in Afghanistan, leaving behind dead soldiers and American citizens and $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment in the world. We are a nation that allowed Russia to devastate a country, Ukraine, killing hundreds of thousands of people, and it will only get worse. We're a nation that has weaponized its law enforcement against the opposing political party like never before. We've never seen anything like this. We're a nation that no longer has a free and fair press. Fake news is about all you get. We are a nation where free speech is no longer allowed, where crime is rampant like never before, where the economy has been collapsing, where more people died of COVID in 2021 than in 2020. But soon we will have greatness again. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and it is hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. There is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach, because we are Americans, and Americans kneel to God and God alone. And it is time to start talking about greatness for our country again.
Joining me is Barbara Heinebeck, who was a press officer, the wife of Democrat President Jimmy Carter, and then an advisor to Democrat President Bill Clinton. Barbara, great to catch up with you again. That ad,
and you,
how effective do you think it will be?
Wow. It was powerful, and it was all in black and white right up till the end. So you just got the simplicity with numbers and facts, not hyperbole. And I don't know what the FBI has done this time around is just so unprecedented. Even Nixon had to abdicate the throne, but he was never put in prison. There was no prosecution. So this is a new day for America, and we're going down a slippery slope if we don't stop this one party against the other party, and they're forgetting all about the citizens of America and justice and also democracy. What I found so interesting all of the people that have come to Mar-a-Lago since yesterday, a lot of them are people from Central and South America, individuals who've come to the U.S., they've gone through the citizenry according to the appropriate manner, and they are the ones that left banana republics. And if we're not careful, this is what a banana republic is, when you have one party against the other, and they're just going to disregard any and everything that was good for a country or its people just to bring in a new regime.
It's interesting, isn't it? I think that's exactly why the ad has been timed for now, the release is now, because of this, well, horror. And I mean, you're a former Democrat, but you also saw the former Democrat governor of New York say, listen, Andrew Cuomo, I think this has got real problems here. You also saw a former Democrat presidential candidate, Andrew Yang, say exactly the same. They've got real issues here. I think this is a terrible, bad call. Even if there are good legal reasons for the raid, it's terrible politics.
Terrible politics. And this was a raid as opposed to just the FBI coming in. It wasn't that long ago when Hillary was Secretary of State, and she was given a lot of warnings so she could take her little email source and she could delete and keep whichever email she wanted. She had several days to do that. And then she actually used bleach bit and acid in order to ensure that they could not find any damaging, incriminating information on her phones and on the computer. And she took a hammer to it after all of that. And she was never prosecuted, and you couldn't even get mainstream to talk about it. Like, same thing with Hunter and all. It is so one-sided, and the threat of the Democrats being so fearful that he's going to run again, and there's a good chance that he'll, actually be the lead Republican candidate if he does. I'm not so sure that's a great idea, because the sad news is that Trump has been so divisive and the whole country's just sort of splintered. He might have had a chance before January 6th, but I am doubtful about that now, and especially when I consider him as opposed to, say, a Ron DeSantis.
Oh, I agree with you. But this is the thing. This raid has put Trump right on the front stage and eclipsed Ron DeSantis, who's got no option but to support Trump here.
Exactly.
Now, you mentioned Hillary Clinton. That was the private server that she had in her home unlawfully while she was Secretary of State, and it contained top secret emails. And as you say, she went through and started deleting, so, never got prosecuted. Every week now, but here's the reason, of course, why the Democrats would be worried. Every week now, we do get fresh reminders of the fast decline of President Biden. It's not his fault, it's 79, but it's not even halfway through his first term. No way that he can serve a second. This time, have a look at this. Chuck Schumer, the Democrat Senate leader, he shakes Biden's hand first at some presentation. Biden seems to instantly forget that's actually happened and is holding out his hand for another shake as Schumer goes to the other three people. Have you ever seen a decline like this in a sitting president? This must really freak the Democrats.
No, I absolutely have not. He couldn't even get his jacket on the other day, and then he lost his sunshades while he was fiddling around trying to finish dressing himself. And you could see Jill in the back standing by his side, hoping that he would manage to do it on his own, and she finally had to help him finish getting dressed. So the Democrats really don't have anyone that they're even pretending to try to put forth to step in and take the place of the two that have, the first breath from the president and the president himself. It's not looking good for the Democrats, and the Democrats have got to stop this. Anything that the Republicans say is wrong, and they're still so obsessed with Donald Trump that they have accomplished nothing during Biden's presidency. And that ad that you just showed, Andrew, just points out that a lot of time is being wasted, and what is going to happen in the next couple of years. And this November will be a very telling moment for us all, I think.
Barbara Heinebeck, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.